Shadow of death. We feel no evil. No jail cell. No bullets. Down with us. Around my staff. Humble us. We'll fight back. No lives matter. No lives matter. 1965, we got the right to vote in 1965, blacks after 85 years. While we were serving the jury in the South. Anything else couldn't vote. Those of them been long. Couldn't vote on college campus. You couldn't vote bilingually. Since 1965 to 1965, young America came alive. Redefined America. There's a new majority. This land is our land. This land is our land. This belongs to the clan. That is our land. We reject slavery, segregation, sedition, subversion. We are God's people. We'll march. Victory is won. Victory certain. Victory certain. Victory certain. We will not give up. I am somebody. I am somebody. Red and yellow. Brown, black, and white. We're all perfect. In God's sight. Everybody is somebody. Never surrender. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. George Floyd. Say his name. Say his name. George Floyd. 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 Say his name. George Floyd.
Hello, everybody. It is the American Doofus Show, Minneapolis, Minnesota. That was the Reverend Jesse Jackson.
For those who don't know me, my name is Spike Moss. I have fought this battle since 1966. I won 98% of all lawsuits and 100% of the cases lost against black officers. This is our time because of you. You must stand up to the end of this and not be afraid and do not back up. No city is perfect. Minnesota has been perfect since 1966. A cop must be found guilty. You are standing up to make history. This is historical that one finally went to trial. So I wanted Black Moses to stand next to Jesse because Jesse's passing that torch to y'all. And just one here, I named it Blue Black Moses. I said, colorful senses. Yo, keep marching. Stand up and fight back. Stand up and fight back. Stand up, fight back.
Again, that is the Reverend Jesse Jackson, Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is live. The trial of former police officer Derek Chauvin went to the jury today. The jury is deliberating on the guilt or innocence of Derek Chauvin in the murder of George Floyd. We start out the night in Minneapolis.
Jason, the hair is Southern Daddy with Reverend Jesse Jackson. All police now, all power to the people. All power to the people. Black lives matter. 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 Floyd. George Floyd. George Floyd. Dante Wright. Dante Wright. Dante Wright. Dante Wright.
Breonna Taylor next. Say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
Say her name. Say her name. Say her name.
In case you're just joining us, it's Minneapolis, Minnesota, where we start out tonight.
I want everybody to say crazy shit on my live because when I come around, you say shit like that.
We got Frank Nitti stream to start out with. We'll be bouncing around from stream to stream and coming on a little bit earlier than I anticipated tonight due to the fact that Reverend Jesse Jackson was speaking, and I thought that would be historic. This may be one of the last times we see the Reverend speak.
Hey, he started shitting on me so quickly. I'm back, guys. I'm back. Should I just fist bump him? Give me a fist bump.
He talked good today, though. He did talk good. Yesterday he wasn't doing it. The other day he wasn't doing as well as he was. He called. He called.
Let's get back to it. Watching from New Zealand. Why do you have so many people watching your video? Like, I don't understand. She's back! Where they remember me? Hey, girl. Thank you, Frank. I'm telling you, sometimes. I'm telling you, sometimes. Then the Three Musketeers now.
We're going to Mercado.
She put in a lot of work, day in and day out. She answers text at 2 in the morning for no reason when she's out of town on vacation. She's a civil rights attorney and she's a national treasure. And keep her on the armstrong.
All right, y'all. So we got Jaylani.
Again, if you're just joining us, we're starting out in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The jury for the Derek Chauvin trial for the murder of George Floyd. The jury is in deliberation. The trial officially ended today and has gone to the jury, and everyone is awaiting the verdict from the jury. Some things that happened, in case you didn't watch the trial. At the end of the trial, the defense motioned for a mistrial because of the words of Maxine Waters, Congresswoman, that we actually had on the show Saturday night. We had a live feed with her saying what she said. And basically she said that the people have to stay in the streets. They have to get more confrontational and keep going, basically. And they have, I'm just talking about that, Philly Strong. And they've kind of, she didn't call for violence. She didn't, specifically call for anything other than to be more confrontational. Now, what does that mean? As a congressperson, saying something like that is inflammatory. So what will come of it? her enemies will use it against her. And it won't stop her from speaking because she's a strong black woman and tells it like it is. Now, I want to talk about a couple of things here real quick. I saw the mayor of Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. He's a black man. And he was asked to comment on the statement from the lieutenant governor of Minnesota. The lieutenant governor of Minnesota said that it was not safe to be a black person in Minnesota. And the mayor of Brooklyn Center, where Dante Wright was killed, was asked the same thing. And he said he had to agree that it was not safe, even for him as a mayor, to be a black person in Minnesota. And it's not just Minnesota. There are a lot of places that are, there are a lot of places that it's not safe to be a black person. And we need to address that as a country. And we need to eliminate those feelings. Let me hop over here to comments real quick. Yeah, there should be a verdict. I'm guessing probably Wednesday there will be a verdict. They didn't get the case until late, and I imagine that the instructions are, the severity, the repercussions potentially of this case. Make sure you take it seriously and you take your time in deliberating. There's a march in Louisville tonight. Okay, I'll flip over and catch a little bit of that. Thank you, Sissy. The mayor in St. Paul mirrored the sentiments as well. I'm not surprised. Okay, David, that's your opinion. That's fine. I personally can think of a lot worse Congress people, but we all have our own opinions. We don't like name calling in here, although it happens. It's, so don't refer to another human being as trash. I'm going to hop back here and see if I can find what's going on in Louisville. Now, for those that don't know, a man named D, a well-known protester in Louisville, protested for months upon months, carrying an 8-foot by 6-foot cross, strong Christian faith. And he was basically assaulted by police yesterday. We got the video on the previous episode. So take a look at that when we're done here. I don't know how long this live is going to be. I'm not sure what exactly tonight's going to bring. And again, I was not anticipating coming on this early, so I don't have a lot of things set up. Okay, this is what's going on in Minneapolis, Minnesota right at the moment. Thanks to Sissy, we're going to pop into Louisville, a nightly march, day 326 of. They've been protesting for 326 days straight in Louisville, and this is from Riot Heart. We use Riot Heart quite a bit.
Body weight on top of it. What I hear is just a flurry today.
Wait a second, I gotta come back up here.
Pretty much still swallowed shut even today.
Yeah, Maxine Waters the first to enter the Thunderdome. Yeah, she will say what she thinks, and damn the torpedoes, so to speak. Wednesday is when Putin is giving a national speech to Russia while continuing to send troops to the border of Ukraine. Wednesday's also probably going to be the coldest day we've had in a while. So if there's any day that protesting will be muted, so to speak, I would say it would probably be Wednesday. Hello, Tree Cow. How are you, ma'am? So we'll see what's going on here in Louisville, and I'll look around and see what's going on. Crank it up. We'll listen to Riot Heart for a few minutes.
Crowdsourcing funds in order to be able to, assist in areas of the community where it's most needed. So we got a few different fundraisers going on. You can go to rightheart.com, check that out. We got t-shirts for sale, $25 a pop. There is an allusion to profanity on the t-shirts though, so we don't have anything that's like work friendly, I guess, but starting to collect funds so we can further contribute to our community. We are on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook all have live streams. Instagram, we do a lot of post-production videos, a lot of chopped up videos, put them there later. I could recommend you should go to YouTube or Twitch, subscribe, set up notifications. That way you can view through there instead of Facebook. Ever since January 6th, ever since the storming of the Capitol, Riot Heart has been threatened by Facebook since to be unpublished potentially due to going against community standards. That is because we posted 2 pictures of individuals that were wanted by the FBI. So news organization reporting the news gets hit for bullying, and now they're threatening to unpublish.
Remember what I said. Remember what I said a few days ago. We're going to start seeing a crackdown, if you will, on what is media and what is not. And it's going to become accepted media versus those of us that are underground media. And just remember that it's going to come. Knuckles, hey, how you doing tonight? No, I did not hear anything about Viking. Mr. Real Talk, how you doing? Yeah, the world's going to be watching. They cling to January 6th so hard. I will never understand why they ever gave up the Capitol once they took it. That was the objective. They accomplished the objective, and then they left. And I will never understand that just from strategy. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad they did. I'm glad it ended how it ended, except for the people being killed. But oh, okay. All right. Hey, T-Rex, what's going on? Yeah, we'll talk sometime, Knuckles. Hey, Glenn Smith. Smoke Wagon. Hello to all. Rapper. Yeah. Okay. Riot Heart's talking about what happened up in Minnesota at Brooklyn Center when the cops came and got the press. And again, what the cops consider press, CNN, their local media, those people were not there. Okay, they were not there when the cops came. The cops came and got they got Unicorn Riot. They shot Andrew from Mercado Media. They arrested Cortez Rice, who's related to George Floyd. Is D out there? I think tonight should be quiet too. D is carrying the BLM flag. Okay, he's not carrying that one. Is he carrying the RBG flag? Black Lives Matter, the red, black, green? No, that's not him. Yeah, all the attention's going to be on the jury, Sage. You're exactly right. I'm guessing they'll probably take, it's 8 o'clock Minnesota time, so they've probably called it a night. They're sequestered in hotels, so they are not allowed to have any exposure to the media or to the outside world. Now, I did hear that one of the jurors was in Brooklyn Center for the protesting Saturday night, and that juror they had made sure that juror was not part of the 12 that was bringing. They bring 14 in to listen to everything. Then 2 of them are determined to be alternates, and they are not in the deliberation and not part of the decision making. And I was told that the one that was at the protest on Saturday night was classified or designated, I guess would be a better word, designated as an alternate. So not going to be part of the decision making. And it, you don't know with juries. The jury, once they get in the jury room, it's pretty much up to the jury what they do. If they want to get in there and they go, okay, let's take a vote and see where we're at, and everybody says guilty of all charges, there's not a whole lot to talk about. But there were some problems. As I mentioned earlier in the show here, Maxine Waters' comment led to the defense requesting a mistrial. And the judge was upset about Maxine Waters' comments. And while he did not grant a mistrial, he did not close the door on a mistrial being declared in the future based partially on her comments. So we're still waiting on the verdict.
The world is a massive place. There's so many things that you could be doing to spend your time, but instead you come here to word vomit your comments on my live stream of people trying to get liberation. You're showing your true colors there, bud. You need to calm it down.
Louisville, T-Rex, Louisville is kind of up in arms about what happened yesterday to one of the protesters, and it's in the previous episode. But I think I don't think there's much going on in Brooklyn Center for Daunte Wright. I think everything's kind of switched focus to Minneapolis as they're waiting on the verdict of that trial. Right. Yeah, exactly, Sage. The judge denied the motion, but hinted that, the door's not shut. Okay.
T-shirt for just a low, low rate of $25. Check out RocketHeart.com for further details.
Okay. The green, well, we just, Rideheart just, there we go. It should set the case for the other, it should set the pace for the other 3 cases. Remember, there are 3 other police officers that were involved. That tree cow, I end up having a headache just about every night. I had a migraine the other night and my eyes started getting blurry and had to just back out of things for a while. So yeah, I bet that judge. I'm still looking to be able to point out D so that everyone can. The guy's face is swollen up. The side of his face is swollen up where cops were beating. One cop specifically was beating on him and basically broke his glasses and smashed his glasses into his face.
Marijuana makes you foggy as well as just a whole plethora of other medications that you can take over the counter.
Okay, well, in case you heard what Rideheart was saying there, the American Doofus Show does not necessarily support or condone anything and everything that is said by other commenters and guests and content on the show. We just give alternative news and information and give you something to think about. I'm going to switch over.
Nicole, the t-shirts now run all the way up to 3X. We'll have extra small and 4X coming very soon.
We're still in Louisville here for a few minutes. Sage, that's a very true comment. You got bangers who should be cops and cops who are bangers, only they got a badge. And I'm sorry, but keeping your knee on somebody's neck for like 4.5 minutes after he's already breathed his last breath and is no longer has a pulse, and that's somebody that's inflicting. That's somebody that's getting off on what they're doing, in my opinion. Okay. Now, you can't say all cops are bad cops because there were cops that testified against that guy and told the truth. Now, there'll be repercussions for them probably, but I'm hoping this case is a turning point. I'm hoping the bad cops give it up and join the 3%ers or join the Oath Keepers or, join something else, but give that badge up. Because I personally am not one that thinks we can do without police. We are too vast and too diverse and too many people that have dark spirits. But we've got to reform. We got to have more social service people that deal with mental issues and drug issues and let cops take care of the stuff cops are supposed to take care of, in my humble opinion. I'm hoping the jeans get less skinny. Me and skinny jeans is not a thing. Never has been. I just ain't this. I don't have one of those skinny jean builds. We're watching Maxwell Mitchell. This is a car caravan in March.
Same thing we march about every night. Black Lives Matter, reminding the world.
Talk to him, Max. Again, this is Maxwell, probably my favorite live streamer in the country. Without a doubt, my favorite in Louisville. And he's an artist. He's articulate. He lets the shots talk for themselves. Just being real, Armstrong. Yeah, I understand. I understand you thinking that way. I understand that. Oh, I Smoke Wagon. I'm hoping it doesn't turn into the cluster, the foo bar that I'm afraid it's going to.
We are the movement.
I see you, baby girl. Yes.
Hey,
Okay, this is one of the tactics in Louisville. They come and they take an intersection briefly. You know, they disrupt things briefly and then they move on.
how you doing, sir? Always a pleasure. It's like a situation up the street, maybe 2 blocks up. Used to be a fire truck, honestly, judging on the flashing lights and the pattern in which they're circulating in the back of the vehicle. But I really don't know.
Again, this is Maxwell Mitchell.
I suppose. B, you got your B, I got your B. L, I got your L, I got your L. L, I got your M, I got your L. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. L, I got your L, I got your L. M, I got your M, I got your L. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down.
Okay, I'm going to hop up to Minnesota here for a few minutes. Y'all be nice to each other in the chat. I'll be back in just a second. I'm going to go back and see what's going on in other places.
That is the courthouse. You guys been watching any of the trial footage or trial feeds? That's where they're from. This building right here, Hennepin County Government Center. Oh, okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I'll make sure it goes to my mom.
All right. I'm going to go to something else here real fast. I've got a story I want to share that hasn't drawn any attention, and I think it needs some exposure. We'll get back to the protests in just about 3.5 minutes.
In March, Fort Worth police told a judge this was a drug house.
I've been here a little over 20 years.
They got a search warrant requesting a no-knock raid. The warrant reads that officers would likely find narcotics, namely methamphetamines, and a no-knock warrant gave cops permission for forced entry with no warning.
We stood up. The police were already coming through our front door.
After the door was kicked in and a search completed, take a look at this empty box. Court documents read police didn't find drugs, guns, money, or anything else suspicious.
It was horrible.
Just Nelda Price in her nightgown and her husband John, both 69 years old. Not drug kingpins, not armed criminals, just two taxpayers terrified to make any sudden movements.
I'm thinking, just be still there. Don't. Okay.
Nelda sued the city for excessive force, negligence, the violation of her rights, but mostly because John died weeks following the raid.
They take it away. I'm sorry.
According to the lawsuit, Price and her husband were put in flex cuffs, which looked like zip ties, and were ordered to stay put on their front lawn. The suit reads that Fort Worth police officers guarded the Prices as other Fort Worth officers proceeded to ransack the residence.
They never said one reason as to why they were here.
Several hours passed, the lawsuit reads, and as time wore on, John Richard Price began feeling ill. At his age, he had issues with his blood pressure.
And I asked him, could they give Doug his medicine, because I could tell that his blood pressure was going up.
But despite numerous desperate pleas from Mrs. Price, Fort Worth police ignored their requests and continued their unlawful search, according to the lawsuit. Price says she didn't resist or act up, and her reasoning for that is something many Black Americans can likely relate to.
We didn't get rude. We didn't, get out of line or anything with police, because being Black, you don't get tough, I guess that's what you say.
An ambulance was eventually called and John was treated, but 53 days later, he died. Price told WFAA she feels the stress of the no-knock search contributed to John's death. The approved warrant reads that knocking would be futile, dangerous, or otherwise inhibit the investigation.
It's just totally really. It basically just seemed like it destroyed my life.
So why did this happen? What evidence did police have that made them think Nelda and her husband were engaged in crime? Price's attorney to this day doesn't know why, saying Fort Worth PD won't release that information to her. We also asked the same questions through a records request. No luck.
Police get training, and there are standards of conduct. Clearly, that wasn't met in this case.
Attorney Kay Van Way is representing Price on this case. She told us the only thing the city of Fort Worth has revealed is that officers had bad intel.
They obviously got it all wrong.
And that stands out to her. To get the green light for a no-knock raid, the department has to prove to a judge that the lives of officers will be in danger if surprise isn't on their side. Van Way wants to know what intel pointed to Nelda and her husband being so dangerous.
Unfortunately, John's not here, but look at Nelda versus 15, 20, 30 SWAT officers. Who was more in danger between the two of them?
Fort Worth PD is no stranger to headlines surrounding cases of excessive force, especially incidents involving Black Americans. Like a Tatiana Jefferson, who was shot in her own home during a welfare check. A death that sent shockwaves throughout the community and America alike. Van Way did offer this appraisal, however.
I believe that this would not have happened in a predominantly white, middle-class neighborhood in Fort Worth.
I, Neil Noakes.
The department does have a new police chief, Neil Noakes, who told WFAA he believes in transparency.
One of the best predictors of the success of a relationship is trust. And the relationship we want to have with the community is one built on trust. To be able to have that, we have to be transparent.
Days after he was sworn in, Noakes declined to answer questions about Price, however.
Not able to comment on that because of the ongoing lawsuit right now. I apologize. When we can say more, we will.
But just because Nelda is suing doesn't mean Fort Worth Police is barred from talking about what happened or what went wrong. They could even show us the body camera footage taken during the search.
For us, no-knock warrants, you won't see very often. You have to do very, very strict criteria to qualify for a no-knock warrant.
But the chief did not provide any specific details to support his assessment, and we still don't know why his officers were so adamant about a no-knock search of the Price home. We also asked the same question in multiple records requests. We even asked for the body camera footage. No reply. And you won't believe this. A judge recently denied Nelda the ability to interview city officials or gather evidence to support her suit. She may now turn to a federal civil court to plead her case.
It would look like a war zone.
Mike, WFAA has reported that Texas officers and cities have broad immunity or protections when it comes to repaying residents for any damage they may cause in a no-knock raid. Van Way isn't expecting a check for what little damage was done here. At the very least, she just wants the city to apologize to Price and correct whatever went wrong. But this haunts the 69-year-old the most.
The police had just knocked on your door and asked to come in. Would your life be different? Would John still be here?
I think so. If they had just knocked on the door and said, you need to do whatever it was they need to do, we wouldn't have had a problem.
You would have voluntarily let them in.
Yeah.
A simple knock, and perhaps a 51-year marriage continues. In Fort Worth.
Been wanting to play that for a couple of days. Thank you all for watching that. Just giving you something to think about. Going back to Minneapolis.
He's busy though. We'll make sure you guys follow Frank Nitty. He's still live. He's live right now. You guys can hear he's talking, so I'm not gonna bother him. But he is live. Carries his phone everywhere. Rest in peace, X. Yeah, Nitty's live. I just like that. Excuse me. Taz is live, right? All right, y'all.
Looks like McCarter's shutting down in Minneapolis for the night. Back to Maxwell in Louisville.
Let me work this. I'm sorry. You just had to click it once. You're good.
Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. No justice. Prosecute the police. I said no justice. I said no justice. I said no justice. I said you can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. Let them know that you can't stop the revolution.
Maxwell.
Did you know that you can't stop the revolution? No justice. I said no justice.
Okay, this doesn't
I
usually
said
happen.
no justice. I said no justice. Give me a B. Give me an L. Give me an M. What's that spell? What's that spell? Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Yeah.
Maxwell Mitchell leading some chants. That's a rarity. Oakley. We're back up in Minneapolis for the moment.
The end of the protest. We can walk over to the grassy area, but this isn't safe. So I just rumble and see why people say I was going to cry. I'm not here for a photo. That's extremely rude. That's extremely rude. I'm not here for a photo. I'm not here for none of that. I'm here for what I say. We're moving over to the grassy area over there. We're moving out the street. It's time to go. If you want to be rude about it, do what you got to do. Get with my car, what you got to do. I want you to be safe. I don't give a all these departments, pull up, be there. We on our way. We on our way. We never gonna stop. We gonna be there. Ah! If you're looking for something to do, showing the state of solidarity. But right now, we need to be out the street so that nobody gets hit. Right now,
Okay, I got one more, at least one more. I've got, let me just say, I've got another story to share here that needs to draw a little bit more attention.
Let's go. You can record, I'm recording too.
This is the beginning of the live stream.
Why does she have to do it?
Dre's daughter questions the officer why her mom is being told to get out of the car.
I don't know why I'm really being pulled over and he's interrogating me. I'm black, I'm deaf, George Floyd just happened.
Ow, come on.
The police officer pulled my arm, yes. Yeah, he pulled my arm. And I was like, whoa, why? I have never experienced anything like that before in all of my life.
The officer also instructs her 11-year-old twins to get out.
You come with me so you can talk.
Dre says it only got worse as she couldn't communicate with the officer.
And I'm saying, look at this, like we need a text, we need a write, and he just kept on talking and talking and talking.
Sit down with them.
The officer tells the girls he is investigating their mom. Dre says she was in the area near Decatur and Ann Road to get rent money back after moving out early. But the landlord called police.
She's just over here because she needs her money back from her friend.
The officer pushes her to sit down on the curb.
Sit down. Down. Sit down. Put your hands on your head.
As her daughter screams, she is put in handcuffs so she can no longer sign and drops her phone.
Don't. Tell her to put her hands behind her back. Tell her to put her hands behind her back.
The screen is black as the girls continue to cry for several minutes, and then the officer says this to the 11-year-olds.
Requiring our 11-year-olds to interpret in a police situation is against the Americans with Disabilities Act. And there are regulations in there that expressly prohibit children from being used as interpreters.
Andrew Brzezinski is a deaf rights lawyer with one of the top firms in the country. He argues the kids were put in a position they should not have been. Many police departments have 24-hour interpreter service for multiple languages, including sign language.
There are services out there, such as video relay services, in which someone could pull up an interpreter on their iPhone or iPad.
I never thought that this would happen to me because I'm not a criminal.
Dre says her daughters were traumatized.
My kids are afraid because of all of the incidents that have been happening recently. And, you know, they're raised black in this community. So when they see a police officer, they're also on high alert.
Now she is demanding change. So what happened to her will not happen to anyone else.
I really want all of Las Vegas police to change with how they learn and how they deal with deaf people, because it is really scary how deaf people are treated. If my kid weren't with me, then I would have died that day. My kid saved my life.
And Fox 5 has asked North Las Vegas police about what happened here. They tell us that they have investigated the circumstances. They say that Dre initially refused to comply with requests and was briefly detained until police completed their investigation. Now, we asked for additional clarification about their policy when dealing with deaf or hard of hearing people during traffic stops or searches. They sent us their entire 198-page department policy manual and this statement. This department will make every effort to see that its employees communicate effectively with people who have identified themselves as deaf or hard of hearing. Live at the update desk tonight, Kim Passoff, Fox 5 News.
I just thought that story needed a little bit more boost. It kind of makes me sick to my stomach.
Some of my pictures later, but if I end up out in Brooklyn Center, I'll come back up. We'll see. I don't even know what time it is right now, but I'm gonna shut the stream down and
Okay. All right, we're going to go back to Louisville. I'm going to see what's going on here in Minnesota.
An option to call the police came up, but I denied it and didn't want to do so. Like, one of which I know that I don't know, either some or some people are paying to is when my back windshield got smashed in by a few rocks.
We're back in Louisville, Kentucky with Maxwell Mitchell live streaming.
It is sad. I agree. It is sad. What's up? Woo! Not too bad, yourself? Good, good. Of course. I didn't know if I was going to make it up that hill, but it did. What's up? I can dig it. That person want to say it again. It's the communication that's going to really help. AKA from Police Chief Eric Shields, Mayor Fisher right now. You know, after the situation that happened today, the next day I saw, it was written that Eric Shields said, this is not a part of our training process. We don't condone this. Let's see that training process and whatnot. We've asked for it and demanded for it, accountability and transparency within this LMPD system. LMPD department, or LMP department, yes. That would be a Louisville Metro Police Department, but obviously it's just one department. I'm going to stop saying the word department now. But anyway, let's converse about what is going on. It's one of the things at least I appreciated about Yvette Gentry during her interim tenure, is that she actually came out, she actually talked, she actually spoke, answered questions to the best of her ability so we can understand what is happening. To protect and serve, but not actually even speak to us. Seems a little backward in my opinion. I mean, I can safely and confidently say having a dissonant type of chiefing of the city is just not the best method, not the best way to go in my opinion. The thing is for me, under the option of what's next, or what's to do next, in my opinion, having a community conversation is next. You know, I am more than ready and willing to direct it myself should it be approved. But having a community conversation is next. It can be designed in such a way where people can speak, people will listen. It can be designed in such a way where people can be heard. I say, just like we would do when there's a situation of a political figure and we want them to hear us, and we flooding the phone lines, if you will. I say we do the same thing toward this community conversation. That is what's next. That is something that needs to happen. There's so much confusion happening. So much fabrication. I mean, I want to reference back to the situation with the plaque that I keep going on and on and on and on about. You know, this plaque by the city to be put at 6th and Jefferson on the northeast side in honor of Breonna Taylor, fallen EMTs, and those who have passed throughout the, as it relates to the protest. 2 names being left on it, as most would say, 2 prominent names. And by the city officials handling this project, saying that they've spoken to all the families. And then, without even thinking about it, those family members saying, no one reached out to us. That in itself is confusion. That's not transparency. That's not talking to families. That's putting a plaque out there that's not going to be helpful or toward the realms of healing at all. No, they're not. I've always had the same narrative and always will. I think of certain systems within this entire, certain cogwheels, if you will, within this entire system. I relate them to cogwheels. You know, you have several cogwheels having a machine going, and if one cogwheel is corrupt or if it breaks down, you handle that cogwheel, you fix it, you make it better. It still has the entire machine going. And I want to take the phrase, the whole M system is guilty as hell. And if that's the whole machine, we need to rebuild it. What does that look like? And let's say in June that it was voted upon that the entire machine was going to be rebuilt. the transition period alone to that new defined system, that plan B, if you will. Oh my God.
Hey, thank you, Just Be Real. I'm gonna play again the video I played yesterday. What happened in Louisville yesterday for those that did not see it, and then we'll get back to Maxwell and Louisville. Everything is silent. I shouldn't say that, but everything is dispersed in Minneapolis as far as the event that was going on there, the rally for George Floyd and Daunte Wright. Just watch this, if you will. Okay, you'll see D is not resisting in any way. And he's got his hands behind his back. And then watch what happens on his right side first. And then what happens on his left side. See, the officer on the right is pushing him. You can see he's pushing him, trying to get him off balance. Then they try to trip him. He pulls his hands around to keep from having his face smashed in the cement. And then watch this cop.
I got it on here. I got it on camera.
So that's what happened yesterday in Louisville, and why Louisville has not learned from Breonna Taylor, why there hasn't been another grand jury convened. Breonna Taylor, that's a different question though. But I just, for those that hadn't seen that, needs to be seen.
Sure. Oh, sorry, my finger covered it. You're right there.
Asia, this is downtown. East Broadway.
marching because yesterday there was a black man that was brutally beaten by the police, one of our protest brothers, who just happened to be crossing the street with a big old cross sending a message of love and hope. And the police decided that that was an arrestable offense. Not only did they cuff him, they slammed him on his face when he was not resisting arrest, and then proceeded to punch him several times, blacking his eye and giving him a concussion. I'm marching today because he deserves justice.
Thank you so much.
You are very welcome.
Feel like answering a question? Feel like answering a question? Yeah. Maybe on screen? Yeah. How you doing today, sir? Doing great. I ask you one question. Why are you marching today? Why did you think this march today? Because talk really loudly so we got this microphone next to us. My bad, it's fine. Let me cut it out.
Come together in solidarity for my man D. Show him that this city got his back. No matter what the BS, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? What they doing to him, we gotta hold them accountable. They gotta be accountable for something. For them to punch or do all that extra shit, talking about you resisting arrest and all that shit, he didn't even get locked up for the charges, what he got locked up for. So therefore, that showed you how messed up and corrupted Louisville Metro Police Department is. Do you understand?
I feel that.
So, this is our streets. You can lock us up, you can beat us up, but you will not stop this revolution. And that's a fact. That is a fact. I'm out here, but I'm not out here. Y'all know what it is. Freedom for our nation, man.
Appreciate it, sir.
What's up? How you doing?
Can I ask you a question on screen?
Sure.
All right, here we go. Just want to ask you one question. Why are you marching today? What is this march about for you?
Hey, listen, whatever injustice going on in my community, I don't care who it is, I'm out here. I'm in the street. We're going to stand with D. We're going to stand with Breonna Taylor. We're going to stand with David McAtee, Michael Newton, David Rudolph, all of them. Defund the police. And Mayor Fisher, we need that meeting.
Yes.
We need that meeting with Maxwell.
Yes, all of us. All of us. Thank you, sir.
We got questions.
We got questions and we need answers. Say her name. Breonna Taylor. Where is she? Where is she? There he is. All right, I'm gonna tell him. I was asked to send you a message. The message to Joe. Joe, immediately. He says. The message has been delivered.
Joe, close up. Tell him call my phone. Call my phone, Joe. Call my phone.
Let me hop in here real quick. If you're just joining us, thank you for watching. This is Louisville, and Maxwell. I wanted to drop the volume for a couple of things. Maxwell is not really giving commentary at the moment. He's passing along instructions that don't necessarily need to be out in the public, if you will. James Sweeney, how you doing? The cop that punched the black man in Louisville should have been drug tested and fired. Okay. Sissy, I'm not sure how I can do that. I'm not sure how I can show him Dee's face pics. But Dee's a looking young man. He's a Christian man. He literally carries an 8 foot by probably 4 to 6 foot wooden cross. He carries his cross. I mean, he's as Christian as you can get. And they said he was blocking the street. Now, if you listen to yesterday's episode with David Maurer, attorney down there in Louisville, David saw the whole thing. He had just dropped his daughter off, and Dee was talking to somebody in a car. He was not blocking the streets. He was actually on the sidewalk at the corner of 6th and Jefferson when the police came and arrested him for blocking the streets. So that's a quick recap of what happened yesterday. Dee wears glasses, and his glasses were punched into his face, literally, and smashed on the ground. In my case, that's $750 to $800 that I got to replace my glasses, and I'm sure Dee's going to have to do the same thing. But his left eye is swollen almost shut. He had a concussion, and his face is cut up. You can see an outline of where his glasses went into his face. And I'll try to figure out how to get the pictures up here. But I can't do it at the moment. And again, I'm giving Maxwell a little bit of time before, because Maxwell very rarely talks. And when he talks, he's really articulate. He's really talkative tonight. So I'm going to give him the floor and listen to what he has to say. But I want to make sure that it's not, that we're not getting any information out that is being conveyed amongst the people that are actually in this march. Because anytime anybody's out, no matter where they're at, no matter what city they're at, they're in danger anytime they're marching, because there are those people that automatically don't understand why they're out there. And there are those that just want to stop all of this from happening. So you're always in danger when you're hell, you're in danger now. Sorry about saying hell. You're in danger now when you go to Walmart, or you go to work. If you work at FedEx in Indianapolis, 8 people killed, 9 people dead, including the shooter, and 5 others in the hospital from a 19-year-old with 2 legally purchased assault weapons that had red flags. Now, they're talking about this red flag law that this is going to be, gun control, is that if you get red flag, you can't buy a gun. Well, it didn't work here in Indiana. Okay. So there's going to have to be some other means of making sure that guns don't get into the wrong hands, while making sure that you don't infringe upon the rights of legal responsible gun owners. I think white officer on opioids and Adderall. I know for a fact a couple of cops that that took steroids and worked out where I worked out, and would talk about, how man, I almost got out of control. Roid rage came on, and I just wanted to beat on somebody. And you got to think that is you got to think that's a factor at times. These guys, they bulk up so that they can be intimidating. They shave their heads so they can be intimidating. And we're going to find out that there are police officers that are literal murderers, and they either tattoo themselves or they some other way mark themselves, because retired cops are starting to talk, because retired cops are going, hey, this is enough. And we're going to learn a lot of things that are going to be very troubling. And on this show, we talk about things that make people uncomfortable. We talk about racism. We talk about, I started a movement called EAR, End All Racism. And we talk about things that are uncomfortable, and it's going to get real uncomfortable when the truth starts coming out about some police departments. Stone dirty socks at the top, like the police care. A lot of them don't. And I don't have answers. But we got to keep asking questions. So let's see what Max has to say. I'll go back for a minute. And again, thank you all for watching that are watching. And if you just joined, this is Louisville. You have one, Divine Order? You have an answer? I would like to hear it. Nothing's going on in Minneapolis. Everything has everybody's dispersed for the night because they're going to be back out in the morning. Well, yeah, God, absolutely. God's the ultimate answer, in my opinion, anyway. But end all institutions. Man, I don't know. We would have to be so dependent upon our fellow man, humanity. I don't just mean men, but we'd have to be so dependent upon our fellow humans, and I don't know if there are enough positive spirits and bright lights to be able to do that, because there are too many dark people. Space Frog, how you doing? Like the state's closing argument in the Chauvin trial, talking about the case of George. It's not that George Floyd's heart was too big. Derek Chauvin's was too small. But at the same, for those that have watched the show for a long time, I got some pretty good friends, lawyer wise. And I reached out to a couple of them and I asked, what they thought. And while they didn't think it was a slam dunk, they felt like the evidence was definitely in the prosecutorial side's favor, but that the prosecutors might have made a couple of gaffes. It is scary to think about, but disciplinary sage, you look around and you think, it might be time to try it some totally different way, because what's going on now isn't working for everybody. And I'm not going to come on here and make it sound like, I get by with help from viewers. Okay. and it's not like things are total shit for me. So I don't want to speak for people that have different life experiences. And I also don't ever want to devalue the fact that other people have different life experiences. Breonna Taylor, there has still not been anyone that there has not been any justice served for the death of Breonna Taylor. There have been charges for wanton endangerment, for shooting into the apartments of people around Breonna Taylor. And that just, that amazes me. And then the fact that Louisville is taking that break for granted, and instead of going, man, we got lucky, let's make sure we never put ourselves in a position like that again. They're starting to do it. And the Kentucky Derby's coming up May 1st, and things are going to ramp up in trying to keep people quiet during the Derby. They're going to round up the houseless people and move them somewhere where they can't be seen. And I don't know. Let me hop back over here in the comments for just a second. Then I'm going to go back and monitor and see if anything's going on that we're missing. Okay, you guys are all just kind of talking amongst yourselves. So that's cool. I don't know about that, James Sweeney, but I would almost bet that the judge is a right-wing Republican, and you can check that in voter registration records. I don't know if he's a white supremacist, but gave you the answer you didn't have at 9. Okay, that popped out of there. Yeah, people aren't mad enough. I don't know. I hope anger isn't the spark, because anger is not going to bring about change. Anger is just going to bring about pain. But the whole country needs to learn lessons. The white community needs to learn lessons. So I'm going to go back to Mac here and see where we're at. This again, Maxwell Mitchell. If you're on Facebook, please like and follow. Maxwell's a great, strong young black man. It's okay, Oakley. It's on TV. It's all right. It's okay, baby. It's all right. It's on TV. Disciplinary Sage, you're going to love my book when it comes out.
It's like right there. It's like right here. If you leave there, it's that's right. Come on.
Breonna Taylor.
That is a wall.
So, this particular vehicle right here, that is LMPD. That is LMPD right there. I mean, obviously, I'm not surprised. Just bring it to attention. Certainly is. And that's them pulling down Baxter. I have a lot of theories and hypotheses swirling around in my brain, but I don't know, because of the situation that happened with Dee, they're going to try to avoid a heated situation and just keep an eye on us, if you will. Or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 blocks up, we'll be met by a line of police. And obviously, they'll still do that without going into a heated situation. But only time will tell, I suppose. Out of the bars and in the street. Out of the bars and in the street. Actually, now that I think of it, as I started getting deja vu, this is exactly 7 days from the last time we were here at this exact location. Now that I think about it.
There was a wrecker right there.
1 week reunion, I suppose. Now, only temporarily for a second, I'm walking down the street. Reinhardt, Matthew Ballard are still there at that location at Grinstead and Bardstown Road. If you're not already watching that, is just want to see
what's out in front of the people.
And this is why I need my bike. Probably should have rode it tonight. Out here it's not so cold. There's so many ways to go. Riding around with no automobile. I don't know how I should feel. All right, enough of the scene.
They're going to back off after yesterday, at least for a night.
They're incorrect. Our streets. Our streets. Our streets. Our streets. Our streets.
Okay, that's D right there in the front of the screen with the green Black Lives Matter, and he's got his hair in a ponytail. You can see the right side of his face. If he turns around and you see the left side, you'll see it's pretty swollen and marked up. But that's D right in the center of the screen in the green short t-shirt, short sleeve t-shirt, shorts, and black black hat. This is D right here. Hopefully we'll get a look at his face.
Stop the revolution. You can't stop this revolution.
That's D.
You can't stop this revolution. Divided we fall.
There he is.
Mic check. Keep going.
This is D.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Thank you, everybody that's in here. If you're new, welcome. If you just joined, we are in Louisville, and D The man that was just on the microphone is the one that we showed in the video earlier in the broadcast, and also earlier in the broadcast. Looks like police may be coming. Also, earlier in the broadcast, we did a couple of stories that if you're just joining, go back and watch. A story on a young deaf mother of twin daughters in Las Vegas. We did a story of a no-knock warrant that was served on 65-year-old black couple, and the husband ended up dying. So a couple of stories that were also in here, and then again we had the video of what happened to Dee. So I'll hop here in the comments. Boogaloo Boys still standing strong, protecting the protesters. That speaks volumes. Yeah, the Boogaloo Boys that were that's what they were about. Yeah, they've been doing that, and I had it on here. My gosh, that was back probably mid-July, the first time that 4 Boogaloos showed up in Indiana. And everybody was like, what are they doing? Because they wouldn't talk to anybody. And nobody knew what they were doing. And finally one of them said, look, we're just here. We're here to make sure the protesters are safe. We're not threatening the protesters. So that was intriguing because I knew very little about a lot of these organizations, and my gosh, the education I've gotten, the things I've learned, and the misjudgments a lot of people have about a lot of the motivations behind the things people are doing. And it's sometimes and I'm guilty of it. I say, it's ignorance. It's ignorance. Well, ignorance is not what you don't know. I mean, you're not ignorant if you don't know something. You're ignorant when you refuse to learn something. And that's the most dangerous, I guess that's the most dangerous kind of ignorance. All right. That's the kind of ignorance I'm talking about. The ignorance of being closed-minded. And that's one thing I like about this platform, and one thing I like about the people that come here. It's not, it's not everybody agrees with everything, but people are, hateful ignorance. Yeah. But you got to be willing to, you don't have to sacrifice your morals. You don't have to sacrifice your integrity. You don't have to sacrifice your beliefs. But what would make this place a lot better as far as the world is if we realized not everybody had the same ones. Not everybody has the same beliefs. Not everybody has the same morals. Not everybody has the same principles. And understanding that some people's beliefs, morals, principles, whatever you want to call them, are framed and formed by their existence, their life, the environment they had, their life experience. And we all have different life experiences. And again, we do not devalue anybody's life experience just because it's not your own. And it'll make you a better person if you just try to, when you think you hit bottom, look down and pull somebody else up. That's a song lyric I wrote. And it's true. Sometimes we get caught up thinking everything's so bad for what is happening to us. If we open our eyes and look around, we see that there are other people always worse. There's always somebody that can be helped. And it'd be a better world if we tried to treat each other that way, with just a little bit of empathy, a little bit of understanding, a little bit of compassion, a little bit of, okay, well, you don't think the same way I think or believe the same way I believe, but that doesn't make you any less a person. And that's hateful ignorance, in thinking that just because somebody doesn't believe the way I believe, or somebody doesn't look the way I look, or somebody doesn't sound the way I sound, I've got to hate them. That's ignorance. That's hate. That's and that's real. It's real. It's not just something I'm not tilting at windmills. So I'm not sure Maxwell's running here. I'm gonna see what's happening. Oh, he's running.
Hola. Hola. Uno para mí. ¿Puedo tomar pollo taco? ¿No se puede? No, uno. Sí. No tiempo para mí. Mucho protesta esta noche. Sí. Sí. Por ti.
Censored by YouTube. Good night. Thank you for coming in. There's Puffin. Why do right-wing live streamers? Why do right-wing restreamers have access to BLM YouTube streams that YouTube hides from the public? I don't know. You'd have to ask YouTube about that, or maybe some right-wing streamers. Carpe diem. I know you're asking me, but I don't have an answer for that. You'd have to ask YouTube or right wing. I'm guessing the freight trucking guy. Oh, I'm a right wing streamer. Okay, all right, Puffin. I stream from the middle. Okay. And if you think it's right wing, you got to be. You defended KKK trolls. I didn't defend KKK trolls. I said that I didn't censor people in here. I had yet to censor people in here, and I didn't want to ever have to censor people in here. So knock off the hate. I didn't, but by the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, they can speak hate. You don't have to listen to it, and I'm not going to do that in here. So the leftist, the most leftist person you'll ever meet. Most leftiest. Okay, I'll you probably are, man.
Keep going.
Yeah, I'm going to go back here to the back of the room for a minute and just check around things. So be nice in the comments, and no hate and no racism, and try to treat each other as valued human beings, because I think that's what God intended. Okay, that got a little tense there for a minute.
Chicken taco for lunch.
Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. No justice. Police. I said no justice. You can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. I said that you can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution.
What just happened? Well,
Our streets. Ours. Ours. Halfway. No peace.
how you doing there, sir?
Oh, so this is all that's going on basically tonight, Louisville. It was incredibly quiet last night, and I mean even Portland. You know, it seems like there's always something going on in Portland, but there was nothing last night, nothing on the West Coast. And I think everybody is gearing up. I think everybody is gearing up for the verdict in this trial that we are waiting on. The jurors have the case, and they are deliberating. And again, I talked to a couple of lawyer friends, and both of them said they thought that the prosecution. One said he thought the prosecution had a significant amount of evidence. The other said he thought the prosecution had more evidence, and but that there might have been a couple of slips. I'm not a lawyer. I played one on TV in a commercial once, but that doesn't count. So I'm not sure procedurally what was done. There was an attempt to tie Maxine Waters and her statement about being more confrontational on the streets if there was not a guilty verdict. Now, that can be viewed as okay. I've kind of got an eye on the screen here too. That can be viewed as trying to prejudice the jury. So okay, everybody yelling at Puffin and Puffin yelling at everybody. Let's see if we can go back here.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was.
Question mark, backside of Mid-City Mall?
Hey, Bird!
Say what?
Cut your flashes out, baby. There's 100 police behind.
Oh, there it is. That confirmed it. There it is. Everyone. What do you think? We should go over it? What do you think? Should we go over it?
She's out there behind us, so.
Oh, she said all right now.
I mean, they already know we're there.
Yeah, we're good. No, you're good.
Okay, I thought I saw lights. I'm going to turn this off for just a second because sometimes Maxwell says some things that shouldn't go out to the public. They're not meant for the public. They're meant for the people immediately in the protest. So, yeah, the cops are starting to show up, Sissy. And we'll keep it here. I was going to do a rap, but I mean, not a rap, like, stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image. Not that kind of rap. Well, I was going to wrap it up. But I think maybe we better stay here just to make sure our friends in Louisville all get home safely. If not, that we can make some phone calls and do some things to help if necessary. So let me pop back behind here. Military's American cops and Trumpers are traitors and terrorists. War on terror comes home. Big then goes to Russia for you, Fox. Haha. There's a little bit of truth in that. The difference between when we send our troops somewhere, they are looked at as terrorists by the country they're invading. And so there's a little bit of truth in there, and there's a little bit of truth in the fact that and I've been wanting to get Chris back on. I haven't contacted him, but there's so much going on in the world that nobody's focused on, because we're all focused on all this. But Russia is slowly invading Ukraine. The United States supposedly sent some observers, and China is going to try to forcibly annex Taiwan, and there's a movement for independence on Taiwan, and Iran is like 65% capacity for enriching uranium to weapons grade status. So there are a lot of things going on in the world. Wisecracking Negro. 50-year-old Antifa man writes songs, make cats' anus bleed. I'm not 50, and I'm not Antifa, and I don't know. I'm not going to say whether my songs make cats' anuses bleed, but yeah, I will say that because I inherited a cat when Kay passed away. So and Louis heard my songs and he's okay. So I don't know. Maybe that wasn't meant at me. Oh, come on. U.S. military will redeem themselves by arresting cops and Trumpers. I thought they might have to, especially prior to January 6th. If anybody's watched the show knows all about that back then. Okay, Puffin, what's my future then? If you're psychic, what's happening in the next month? Disciplinary Sage, I think you're right. China will take Taiwan, and I don't think we're not in a position to do anything about it. And it wouldn't matter who was president, whether we were in a position to do anything about it, except for the fact that I don't think this the previous administration would have done something about it, even though we're not in a position to do so. Did that boy on a bicycle just run that car off? Okay, this is the police are going to start showing up here because the police watch ride hearts. Oh, now don't do that. Let the EMS through. Don't block the EMS. That just makes things look really bad, in my opinion. Always let the fire department, always let the EMS through. Ambulances. Okay. At this pace, the only things the Army will be redeeming are our social credit scores in 20 years. U.S. can't police the world if the police station headquarters is on fire. There you go. That's a very, like I said, we got intelligent viewers here. That's a very intelligent analogy. We as a nation, by the end of this week, could be on fire. I hope not. And it could be regardless of verdict. Oh, there we go. The guy you see there, that's Matthew Ballard. And Matthew's well, I'm not, never mind. Matthew Ballard's a live streamer from Louisville, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I think they're directing all of the police are waiting down just about 2 blocks. So they are going to turn on a side street ahead of the police. That's what's going on the screen. And I'm going to go back to Maxwell. I'm yes, I'm just going to leave it at that.
You know it.
Okay, I'm going to go back and sit down on that one. Sane bovine arborist. That tree cow.
I don't. Come to say hi, Eliza.
Okay, the cops have disembarked from their cars. And let me get... Come on, Max. Okay, we'll go to Riot. This is Riot Heart Media.
That's fine. I'm kind of getting tired of dealing with these racists anyway because they found my YouTube tonight.
I'll go back again, but just
Okay, Maxwell just said on Riot's feed that he crashed. His Maxwell's feeds crashed.
Because like, look.
Riot Heart's on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, and Riot's just gone down. We'll talk amongst yourselves there for a moment here while I...
There's no way they could hear that all the way down there.
Okay.
So they just announced.
So I guess it's
Oh,
that
good.
game.
Come on. All right.
The next thing that a lot of people
There's a good look at D.
don't understand what I do. What they did to me, they did the same thing to Christ. Crucified. So by God's grace, I'm still here. So this is I'm like testament to show that they can't do nothing to me unless God. What's so crazy how God worked? He used the devil to defeat the devil at their home. He used the devil to defeat. It was so crazy. The ones that was out there with me. I said, watch God move. I'm gonna make an example of it. I knew I was getting arrested. I just didn't know what was gonna happen. But God prepared me. He prepared me. He prepared me. See how I'm built? He prepared me. My mental, he prepared me. The stuff that I've been through, he prepared me. The insurance, he prepared me. You would have heard from our flesh that you would never hear my soul. Because my soul will be with the king. That's why I love it. He said, I've been to the mountaintop. And everything I've been through the desert. Seeing my people get slammed to the ground. Seeing my people be called ends. 3%ers following us. Police following me. Everywhere I go. You know what I was going to do today? I was going to go to the police department and put in a what's it called that I feared for my life. Because next time it happened, I was going to get embarrassed. I'm just being real, man. I'm just like the next person. Sometimes my flesh will rise up. But we gotta keep going. I'm gonna keep carrying my cross. We got to. I made a promise to do. I'm not from here. I made a promise. I'm in love with the city. I like being here that long. And I want to be the change. I want to be the change. I fell in love with the city. What happened to Brianna changed my life. A lot of people know I'm loyal. A lot of people know. Sometimes I can get a little rowdy, but my heart is pure. So I want this, what happened to me. I don't know everybody lied. I want this to bring people back together. We got activists arguing with activists and all this and that. Different people with different church, all this arguing. Can we kill it? If you truly for Black lives, and you truly part of this movement, kill it for me. Because I need you. You got to go up. You got to go up. You got to go up. You got to keep going. We got God on our side. Like I said, it's just crazy how God used the devil to expose the devil. What I seen in that video is that God used that situation to expose. I don't know what you did. Racism. Discrimination. We show that we are being targeted. And you can't deny the video. You can't. You can't deny it.
You can't deny it. All right, we're back with Maxwell Mitchell as the police have begun to surround the protesters. It's like deja vu in Louisville from 6 months ago. This is what we did every night. Always a report on what was happening in Louisville. And we watch the protesters and we see that they're not doing anything that deserves and to me, showing up with riot gear is an automatic escalation. So, but that's just my opinion, and I'm going to stop on my opinion for a minute. We're going to watch what's going on. The little blonde is streaming on IMPD or LMPD.
See, there's a group here. There's a group across the street right now. And again, well, we're in Willow and Behringer. Behringer and Willow.
Willow Avenue and Behringer Avenue. I'm excited while this is happening. It's important that there's finer details. You see back here, they're going through a live stream, they're going through video content. See what's happening in the background as this line of police is here. And what else is happening? Matthew Ballard. Now, it's important to know while this is happening down the street, there are 4 or 5 police vehicles down Willow Avenue toward Cherokee Road, I believe, and also the opposite direction. And here I am by myself in front of me. Again, this is Willow Avenue and Behringer Avenue.
Time to egress, Max.
It makes me curious what the orders are tonight. Because I voiced a theory maybe an hour and a half ago or 2 hours ago that they don't have orders to go in and arrest us, rather just watch us. I don't know. And they finally came out and formed this line. I don't know what reason. But we'll see how it progresses. I don't know. Here we go. It's a funny little tidbit I just remembered. When I'm typing on my keyboard, I don't know if this is the same for a few of you, but now when I see the F12 button, I do kind of giggle a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. I see that F12 button, it just kind of makes me laugh. Just can't help thinking every time we come face to face with a line of LMPD, it just makes me go back to the initial thought that we need to have a community conversation with Chief Erica Shields and Mayor Fisher. Raising awareness is important. I will always feel that protesting is important. I will always feel that policy change is important. Every single layer of this movement is important, but it will continue cycling round and round until we have conversation, come to some understanding, leading, and to know what to do next.
just gonna walk it. I'm just gonna walk it.
Okay, I'm going to pop up to Brooklyn Center, Minnesota.
National Guard, go home. National Guard. National Guard, go home. National Guard. National Guard. National Guard. Take y'all ass home. Say his name. 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 George Floyd was on the ground, helpless, pleading for his life, while people were recording him. This man deserves justice. Stop talking about it could have been the drugs. Stop talking about it could have been the exhaust pipe. Stop talking about all of the excuses that y'all had. Things like it was an accident. This is unacceptable to our people. And no matter how many of them out here, unlike the 136 that you arrested and held over the weekend, it's still some soldiers on the ground. And the fear tactics ain't working. Salute, you know, Dante Wright looking down on everybody out here right now. He here in spirit.
Okay, we're going to go back to Louisville real quick here. I just wanted you to know that Brooklyn Center, there are people out there. The curfew is coming up in about a half an hour. I wanted to get back to Louisville, obviously.
How you doing? Good to see you again. How you doing? Hey there. Amy? No. No, I'm not.
Now, as of about a minute and 45 seconds ago, the SR team that did line up on Willow and Derringer is still there in a group. Many of the cars involved in this caravan / prop march are now at Bardstown Road. I could have taken a left there on Derringer and met them at Derringer and Bardstown Road, but here we are walking behind them. Hopefully at a slow pace as the last video started out, but only time will tell. If not, I'm gonna get left behind. I appreciate that. I'll keep that in mind. Should I get in some sort of a sticky situation? Aww. I don't think so, but hopefully I'll find something. I will in a little bit. I'm going to stay on foot for now. I appreciate the offer, though. You're the best. Appreciate it. We want justice. Now. Justice. Now. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Y'all don't get no peace. Hey, Dave. You feel like telling me a little bit about what you're saying to the Atlanta police?
What's up, man? All I'm saying is, I said I won't pursuing the office job. If you step in the league.
What was that? Somebody just hit somebody. Oh my God.
You got room?
Okay, what just happened was this. On the left side of the road, car was speeding down the opposite side of the road. And then all I heard was screeching tires. I turned, they swerved so they didn't hit a pedestrian. They didn't hit a pedestrian. And then, of course, they sped off. That's what's happened. That's what I just saw.
It sure sounded like they hit somebody.
Everyone is safe. No one is hurt.
Like I said, anytime you go out to protest, potentially dangerous. That's Riot Heart sitting there, I think.
Wait, he was with us? Who was it?
He was, yeah. He stopped. He drove.
I know what's
He
going on.
drove kind of in. Yeah, he drove in.
Yeah.
He drove in and then he joined us for a while. He was marching around and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So what I was saying is that I'm willing to do something to bring people together for unity. I said I'll be willing to get in a boxing ring with the cop that punched me 5 times. We can fight for his job. You know what I'm saying? If he get in the ring with me, I'm not gonna pursue his job. That's what I was saying. I'm saying how do they want unity? And they allow a cop in front of everybody punch me 5 times in my face. 5 times. And they say they out here to protect us. No, the chief ain't called me. The chief ain't trying to reach out to me. But they say they want unity.
Thank you for your time. Yeah, it did sound like he hit something, but it didn't look like he hit anything actually.
Sure sounded like it.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. How are you?
he tomado una Coca-Cola? A mí, por favor. Gracias, amigo. Buenas noches. Gracias, Amy. Ayuda. Angie, I'm currently consistently practicing English, Spanish, German, and Russian. What's in the box?
Okay, there's Riot Heart. Oh, okay.
The trolls are out.
The trolls are out there too. No, actually, yeah, I was smoking. I lit up a cigar and got a cough from it, and then took a drink to try to get rid of the cough, and the drink went down the wrong, and had a little coughing attack there. I'm all right. Yeah, I'm going to have another vaccine here soon. According to the Pfizer report, they're going to say probably a third dose is necessary in 12 months. Hey, now, no hate, and that includes sexual orientations, okay? No hate. Yes, I had both Pfizer vaccines, and actually the 15th of April was 2 weeks after my second dose, which meant I was basically immune for a little while. So how long? Jay Atlas, I think you may be right. But I don't know if a lot of people are taking the vaccine and it's not getting reported or what, but it's like the report's like, well, nobody's taking the vaccine, and then there's a report of, well, the company, the leading manufacturer of the vaccine is running out. So I don't know, mainstream media. We're still here in Louisville, and I just popped into the chat for a second. Yes, the diversity of the chat is why some people come. But somebody, I think it was Puffin, called me a restreamer, and I'll accept that. But that's not what this isn't what I normally do. I normally don't come on here every night live, and I normally have like the stories and reports I kind of popped in here. That's basically more what the show's about. And we have guests on, and occasionally we have a panel, and we talk about things that don't get talked about that need to get talked about. And that's basically what we try to do here. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I try to do that. I really do. I don't, Grandmaster Jay and the NFAC is an example. I do not automatically discount, besmirch, or trash them. At the same time, I don't kiss Grandmaster Jay's butt either. I call out things that that I see that might be wrong. So yeah, I really try to be balanced on things, and I can't on this trial. I can't. I just can't. I've tried. I haven't reported on it a lot because I was afraid I couldn't be in the middle on this thing. And after watching it, and after seeing not just the one video of 9 minutes and 39 seconds, not just that, but seeing all the police body cam videos, and I can't stay in the middle of this and say, well, whatever happens, justice will be served, and that's the way. I can't. This man's got to be found guilty, and I very rarely state opinions like that, but this time's different, and it's been different. It's been different from the start. It's been different from that first day. It's been different from the first time I saw it, and it stuck with me so much that I couldn't watch it again until the trial, when I felt like I had to be totally informed and objective on this platform. So this is one of those I'll probably recuse myself from. And Grandmaster Jay kicks ass when he's not being racist or a felon. You got a great name and you live up to it. We need to all remember that laughter is our absolute best medicine, and we always need to try to, we need to try to remember to lighten up a little bit every once in a while. Because wisecracking Negro has a point. Some people consider Grandmaster Jay racist because he won't let anyone other than what he considers 100% black into the organization, or at least that was the way it was at one time. Honestly, I haven't been, I haven't been asking questions, and I haven't been focused on it. So, but there are people that can say that he's racist because he does that. I don't think he is. I think he's trying to get an organization that is as least likely to turn on itself. And you do that by having one unifying interest, and that is, in his opinion, and never mind, I'm not going to speak for Grandmaster Jay or the NFAC, but that's basically what I think is happening and continues to happen. There were reports he went back to jail. That was never ever verified. Talk Black to Me. We're in Louisville, Kentucky. Started the night out. I'll get you a recap here. Started the night out. I wasn't really prepared to start. I just got notification that somebody came on, and I went to the stream, and Reverend Jesse Jackson was speaking in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I popped on there because Reverend Jackson's pretty frail, and I don't know how many more times people are going to get to hear him speak. So that was rather historic, possibly. And I wanted to get it out there, and kind of went from Minnesota, from Minneapolis, Minnesota. We came to Louisville, and Louisville was basically primed by what happened to Dee. Dee's one of the protesters, the Christian protester that literally carries his cross with him. He carries like an 8 foot by 6 foot wooden cross with him most of the time. And he got beat up yesterday while being arrested. And it was all caught on tape. And actually I believe it's the episode right before this that features what happened to Dee. And the police decided they would let him loose. So they let him loose last night instead of arraigning him. And it was a smart move on their part, because things were really starting to heat up, and the fact that he came out kind of cooled it off. So we've been watching Louisville, and then briefly some people showed up at Brooklyn Center in Minnesota ahead of the curfew there, but nothing's really happening there. And the protest still goes on here in Louisville. Basically, they're just trying to get back home now. So that kind of takes you. And then there were Talk Black to Me, there were a couple of other stories that were folded in. A deaf woman in Las Vegas was pulled over for driving while black by police, and her twin daughters were used as interrogation tools. And then the other story was a no-knock warrant issued on 2 65-year-olds in North Dallas, Texas, I believe. So, yeah. Okay. I normally don't read comments, but I pop in and out here. And no hate, no racism, and hate includes, sexual orientation. So Knuckles, yeah, I'm going to have to hear what happened to the angry part. They're about to crack down on all y'all angry people. Oh, ooh. Let's see okay, I can get an idea, and you know what, that makes sense. If they're tracking things backwards from the Capitol, and they track it back to the Derby time, there could have been some stuff said there in the AV Angry Vikings sphere that might get some people in trouble. Leftists get censored? Sure. I don't think anybody gets censored. I don't think I've censored anybody. And that's the thing. I don't want to do that. I'd probably just, shut off comments instead of censoring. But I don't want it to get that way. Just, okay, you got a notification back here. Just have some, what did Mick Jagger say in Sympathy for the Devil? Have some decency and some taste for all the love-starved messengers who laid their soul to waste. So yeah, just have a little decency and a little taste, as far as treating each other with respect. You don't have to like each other. And it's all virtual. So, just and at the same time, I gotta tell everybody, there's a natural tension. There's just a tension, a vibe, a wave, a frequency, a feeling, a darkness, whatever you want to call it. It's here. It's on our country. It's probably around the world. I don't know. And it at times requires us to release some of that energy and stress and angst and frustration. And if we can do it in a chat and nobody gets hurt, it's better to do it in a chat and not have people get hurt than a bunch of 12-year-olds having a birthday party and somebody coming with a gun and shooting them, which is what happened Saturday night. Because of frustration. So, there's that too. So just, we don't have to love one another. But if we all just realized it's okay, we all exist and we can all stay in our lanes and occasionally say what's up to those not in our lane. And the world will be a lot better place. End all mass shootings. That was in Texas. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't. La Plaine, I believe, was the name. La Plaine, Louisiana, was where the 12-year-old mass shooting was. 12-year-old birthday party in a garage. And I think 6 injured. And the shooter was a kid too.
Hey, yo, what you really want from me? Tell me what you really want. What you really want from a shooter? Good point.
Is it pronounced place? Laplace? Because I was calling it Laplace. Yeah, I'm afraid it is about to be LA 93.
Black Lives Matter. Whose streets? Our streets. Bad for Rihanna. Bad for Rihanna. They need to get rid of the mayor. Nice man. I'll be shocked. Why not? What that mean? That means till I die. Black Lives Matter. Get it. Matthew. Hey, Matthew. too bad DIE. Right? What they really want from us, too. You fine?
Yeah.
Good, good. Broadway. We're not. Judging by our coordinates and the pace that we're currently going, I'd say we have another hour and 7 minutes left. If we go the path that I think we're going to go. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. You got it. What up?
Oh, I'm going to pop in here for a second. Every time I think, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and close the live out, something happens that I get the feeling the police are going to respond to. Tossing the barrels like you saw, probably not so much. Moving, stopping the traffic and forcing them to come back around, that might be something that I don't know, might get them in trouble. Okay. NFAC. They play children's parties. I'm sorry. The guy's funny. They're the mightiest non-trained militia the world ever seen. Thought it was a band, a crappy band. The NFAC is the Not Fucking Around Coalition, started by Grandmaster Jay, also known as John Fitzgerald Johnson, a candidate for president in 2016 as a write-in. And the NFAC is recognized by the Southern Poverty Law Center as one of 4 national militias, and it is the only militia made up entirely of, it's the only black militia. And that is one of the prerequisites of becoming a member of the NFAC. You cannot be mixed race. And again, this was as of before January 6th. I don't think there are any Antifa out there as far as what you would classify as Antifa. Some of the people out here might identify as Antifa. I do not know. But generally, as far as the way Antifa presents who they are, you don't see that much in Louisville. Now you'll see militia. You will see United Pharaohs Guard was protecting a lot of the marches. They may not even have been informed of it. But a lot of these people that you see walking, this is Louisville, it's Kentucky. Kentucky is what's known as a Second Amendment state or a constitutional carry state. That means you don't necessarily have to have permits for anything you carry. And so a lot of these people are armed. Black first is, yes, that's been Jay's mantra. Just be black. And again, I spoke on a little bit earlier. It's, you know, some people say that, well, it's a race, you know, he's a racist. And I think he's trying to make the group as strong and as lasting as possible by making it identifiable. So, you know, I don't consider that I don't consider that racist, and I don't consider the group a threat to me. Despite, you know, some people have said that, you know, they hate me, and but I think I treat them fair. And I've asked, you know, I've put requests in numerous times for Grandmaster Jay to come on and talk with me. And I'd really like to have him come on and talk with me before this. I wanted to have him talk with me before the trial, and I wanted to have him come on and talk with me before the verdict. And I'd really like that. But, you know, I'm a white guy. So while it's about just being black. So that's one reason I don't think he'll come on. And I'm okay with that. I generally show most of his interviews and do commentary on it. So it's kind of like I'm interviewing him. It shouldn't be any race first. It shouldn't be. But that's the system. That's how the system has been set up. One of the major problems with America is America was designed by white men that owned slaves, and it was designed for white men that owned slaves. And then some of the white men got a conscience or become woke, or, you know, whatever term you want to use, and been trying to erase that that it's stain isn't even stain is not sufficient of a word. and stigma and the erase the fact that America, the damage done by America being founded by slave owners. So, yeah, I'm a closet racist. That's cool. I was born here, but we're all immigrants unless we're indigenous, unless we're Native American. We're all immigrants. We all come from immigrants. And a lot of white people lose focus of that based on something that a lot of people, and a lot of the communities of color and the Black community, a lot of people don't realize in those communities that a lot of white people don't realize white privilege is kind of ingrained in them, and have to become woke. So the more we talk, the more chance there is people of understanding each other. As long as we're talking, we're not shooting. Okay, thanks, Nat Turner. And like I said, if I don't, but I've documented the NFAC, and I was the only one doing it. I just happened to be a white guy doing it because I felt like it's historic, and I felt like Grandmaster Jay was going to be one of the most influential people of 2020, and lo and behold, he got an award as one of the most influential people in 2020. So disciplinary sage, I've been to Mexico, I've been to Canada, and I spent a month in Jamaica one weekend. Outside of that, no, and I really would love to. Because I really don't, I mean, Mexico's outside of America. Canada, when I was in Canada, Canada just was like America they had a slightly different accent, and some of them spoke French. But Canada and America back then were really similar. And Canada kept progressing, and good on them, eh? To be real honest with you, I thought at times about, I'm going to look at a Canadian dating site and find a Canadian woman and move to Canada, because America's going to burn this summer. But I haven't done it, and I won't do it. But being honest, I thought about it. Thank you, Nat Turner. I will watch that. I know there is a growing presence. Some people make fun of it, and some Grandmaster Jay's blowing it up, and it's not, none of it's real. But internationally, and if you dig a little bit, you can see it internationally. There are a lot of chapters of the NFAC, and I've said this before, whether you like him, whether you don't, whether you just report on him like I do, you got to respect the man, because he stood up there on those steps in Louisville the first time they were there, and he gave an impassioned 30-minute speech, and he spoke words that I know there were people that needed to hear because they told me they needed to hear a lot of them. And those words weren't, because of the internet, those words weren't just held here in America or held there in Louisville. They went all around the world. Okay. We lost Maxwell while I was talking. I wasn't paying attention to the screen. Yeah, I as a historian, as a human being, I admire what Grandmaster Jay's attempting to do or attempted to do for his people, because in my opinion, the better it is for any people, the better it is for all people, with the exception of those at the very top. I mean, that's the trickle down theory that a lot of people bought into. Tell you what, I've been going for almost 4 hours, and I'm not seeing a lot of other stuff going on. So I'm going to wrap up here real quick while Maxwell's earlier video. Actually, you know what? I'm going to play this before I wrap up, and put the volume up on it. This is Frank Nitti.
They still been like shooting tear gas at us. They've been hitting us with rubber bullets. They got something new. I don't know what they hit us with now, but something new they started hitting us with too. At the end of the day, they should be hitting no citizens with this. Like, they engaging with us like it's war. Like, what do we do? If they come out right now and tell us to move and start going move, we don't move. You know what I mean? If they come out here and try to arrest us, we're gonna try to stop them from getting arrested. But we're not gonna do nothing more than that. You know what I mean? They don't need to be using tear gas on us. They don't need to be using none of the devices that they're using on us. We out here peacefully protesting. They treat us like it's a civil war. So that's what they're gonna get in the end. I mean, we out here, we're not gonna stop until we get changed. We're gonna keep fighting for the families that need justice. The movement is bigger than ever before, as long as ever before. We appreciate all the support. I'll share a clip of a video last night. With the young lady get arrested, man. And I just thank y'all for supporting everybody, man. We one tight knit family out here, man. We gotta stick together. I know y'all watch this. I know people say, well, it's a great video right now. I don't even know how you do stuff we can't do. That's the camera. I'm going live with the camera. We out here with our phone. But no, man, you put a lot of work in while you try hard, and I want you to know that it's all love and respect for me. You know what I mean? Black Lives Matter, the movement, BLM, we out here, man. They're not as aggressive as they get, huh? Yeah, when I was coming, I did a little patrol. We got some walking talkies. But I did a small patrol, and they were blocking up the highways to get here. And they're parked here already. So I'm thinking I'm trying to block all of the ways out. You know what I mean? Possibly when we got the church out, I'm asking for asylum a couple days ago. They've been very terrorist since then. So I've been talking to them back and forth about they have to be here. They're trying to get organized out here, man, so that they can't just do anything to us. They're not supposed to be kettling us. They're not supposed to be using the stuff they're using on us, and they still are. I mean, that's what they do. They do whatever they want. They don't listen to anybody. And that's the problem. They get a system that works for us. We need people that work for us. And we're only talking about unreasonable things. I mean, like we want to be treated fairly. We don't want anything more. We don't want to be anything better than anyone else. We want the same treatment as everybody else. You know what I mean? That's it. It's a simple thing. Something that we should be asking for. Something that everybody should get. You don't believe in that, then. I mean, think about it like this. Like, we're shackles slaves. Still slavery. You know what I mean? They just took the shackles off. But it's all territorial. They don't want black people to move around. That's what it's about. You ever notice it's always about us being pulled over in our vehicles? hopped in our cars. They want us to be confined into one area of society. They want us to stay in the ghetto. They want us to be stuck in these areas that are marginalized and oppressed. And the way they do that is by putting fear in us so that we don't want to drive our car. Traveling in your vehicle is the most non-racist experience a black person can have. Anywhere else you go in public, even from the 60s and the 20s and the 30s when we first started buying vehicles, we had to put our money on the bus and get in the back. It was owning the vehicle, being able to travel the road, and it was that sense of freedom where we didn't have to get with racist society. And the fact that they want to keep us boxed in is no different than slavery before. We might not have shackles on, but the fact that we're still boxed in to these communities, that we're still boxed into these areas, where they're trying to make it hard for us to just simply travel from A to B. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And that's why they try so hard to oppress us. It's all about control and power. I mean, even this is about control and power and force. It's mental warfare, man. I walked past the National Guard today, and I felt like we was gonna be like real life streaming. People don't understand the psychological warfare that goes throughout here. When you go see the police after you've been out here, they give it to you. You literally feel like you've been like they know you. Like you see the National Guard, you looking like, oh man, I'm gonna get into it with them on the street. That's the psychological warfare that happens from being out here, man. It stay with you. It's difficult. You know what I'm saying? But that's why they impose the way they impose. It's just a threat. They don't have no rules, no laws, or nothing to stand behind. So they just impose. That's all they do. Write tickets and give us cases that definitely gonna be dropped. You know what I mean? But we're afraid about that. So then we run, so then we move, we do all these things. But at the end of the day, you got a bunch of people that's not scared. They out here every day. You, me, these people that's out here right now, they gonna be out here every day fighting for black people. Fight. And the thing about it is, some people don't understand why we say Black Lives Matter. You think when Martin Luther King fought for black people, that other people they get rights? You think they're gonna write laws that say for black people? No, it's gonna be laws for all people. That's how we get change for everybody. We cultivate everybody through black people. You get what I'm saying? Once we get change for black people, we're gonna write laws.
There you go. A little bit of wow. A little bit of Frank Nitti. The protest still going on in Louisville. Maxwell's battery died on him, and he's out of there. And so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for the night. Been on here for about 4 hours now, so that's a good long time. I thank you all for watching. Those of you still hanging out, and a salute to all of you. Another night where we didn't have to shut the chat down. So, you know, that's becoming, good night, darling. That's becoming a positive night after night. Every night we don't have to, I said the chat is kind of like, it's become kind of like the cantina in Star Wars, in that you never know who's going to show up, and you never know what they're going to pop off. So I say blessings to each one of you. I hope you have a incredibly pleasant rest of your day, night, wherever you may be. Namaste, shalom, peace. It's a dark world. Try to be a night. Try to be a light. Really try to think about humanity and the fact that we're not all going to be in agreement on anything or on everything, but it doesn't mean we have to be in disagreement on everything. So whatever you do, make sure you stay alive. Not to be confused with Maxwell's ending where he says stay live, because he is the best live streamer in the business. Thanks to Maxwell. Thanks to Riot Heart. To Frank Nitti. And thanks to all of you. Thanks to all of you. This has been the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus.